Hi there guys, it's Robert, an ambassador for Christ, and as you know, where I go the kingdom goes. Remember, as usual, eat the fish, spit out the bones. For some things you may agree with and some things you may not. Now, you know what? I want to give you 5 myths about Satan. 5 myths. It's going to be powerful and amazing. Some things you probably believe that are actually in error, but we're going to break it down today so you guys get a better understanding. Now, myth number 1 is that people believe, or it has been taught, and it is being taught, that Satan is the worship leader of heaven. In heaven, before he fell, he was the one who led worship. So you need to understand something, okay, is that the Bible never places Satan as a worship leader in heaven at all. It's an erroneous teaching. What happens is that we get that teaching from Ezekiel chapter 28, where it speaks about Satan or Lucifer or the cherubim, that inside of him he is filled with musical instruments, tabrets and pipes. And because he has tabrets and pipes inside of him, a teaching has emerged over the decades that he somehow led worship inside heaven. And when you go into deeper, or have a deeper understanding, or go into deeper studies, you'll find out that that is actually a lie. Satan was never ever the worship leader in heaven. You never ever see that anywhere in the Bible. It's not a consistent teaching nowhere. It's a heretical teaching. And what you'll hear a lot of church leaders teach about this, and definitely worship leaders teach this doctrine, and it's all incorrect. You'll actually find out that Satan is actually or Lucifer was actually a cherubim, and cherubims, they hold up the throne of God. You'll see that in Ezekiel chapter 1 and 10. I think you may find it there, that these cherubims have a specific job title, and like I said, one of them is to hold up the throne of God, or hold up the firmament. So whenever you hear someone speaking about how Satan and a third of the angels that fell with him were the worship or the choir of heaven that fell with Satan or Lucifer, that is actually an incorrect teaching. So wipe that out. It's got nothing to do with that whatsoever, because Satan has tabrets and pipes inside of him, all of a sudden they're linking tabrets and pipes to worship. It's incorrect. Okay, so Satan was never ever the worship leader in heaven. The Bible doesn't teach that. That's called eisegesis. That leads me on to number 2. Satan and God are not the same, or they are not on the same level. Okay, so what we think is, like, we have this light and dark. Satan is dark and Jesus is, or God is light, or yin and yang. Okay, because I said that to give you kind of like an understanding, like they're two opposites. Let me tell you something. God and Satan are not opposites. They're not even in the same league as each other. God is the creator of all things. He's the creator. Satan, Lucifer, he is a created being. He was a son of God. He was an angelic being that was in heaven. Okay, so he was created by God. They're not on the same level. They are not the same. It's like, you know, if you've got a brick and a piece of chocolate, they are two different things altogether. They are not the same in any way whatsoever. It's the same with God. God is the creator. Satan is a created being. They are not the same. The 3rd myth: Satan is not in hell. See, we think to ourselves, or we've been taught, you know, people had visions, and like Satan is the leader or the head that's in hell and causing all this destruction, or all of these demons to punish people in hell. Satan is not in hell, okay? The Bible says that Satan is the prince of the power of the air. That's in Ephesians 2:2. It also says that Satan is the god of this world. Satan is active in this world. He's the one that's bringing so much destruction and devastation into the earth realm. He is the god of this world. He's the one, the leader of darkness. He's the one who is he's the deceiver, and everyone that is, and he's deceiving everyone underneath his control in the world. So Satan is active in the earth. Satan is not in hell. The Bible says in the book of Revelation chapter 20, I think it may be, that a strong angel with a chain came down and laid hold of Satan, or the dragon, and bound him and cast him into the bottomless pit, and set a seal upon him that he should not deceive the nations for 1,000 years. And when the 1,000 years have expired, then he shall be loosed for a season. I kind of quoted that kind of loosely, but Satan is not in hell. Satan gets placed into the bottomless pit in the book of Revelation in the future. at the end of the tribulation period. So Satan is not in hell right now. Down to popular belief, people think that he's there. No, he's not in hell. He's active in the earth, bringing all forms of destruction and devastation and craziness. Number 4, Satan is not a serpent. Satan is not a dragon. The Bible speaks about the dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, and it's speaking about the beast, speaking about how Satan looks. No, Satan is not a literal dragon. He's not a literal serpent. These are figurative speech. This is picture language to give us an understanding. You'll see in the Bible that God will the Bible will use typologies. The Bible will use something earthly so we can understand a spiritual thing. So the Bible will use an animal. He uses animals to give us understanding about kingdoms. Speaks about lions, speaks about goats, speaks about a lamb. These are symbolisms and symbolic. So Satan is not a literal serpent, a literal snake, or a literal dragon. He's just speaking about his character. He came like a dragon to give us an understanding of what he looks like and what he is doing. This leads on to myth number 5. Satan is not hideous. Okay, Satan is not grotesque. Okay, he has a grotesque and hideous nature, but the Bible says that he was actually an angel of light. He's actually an angel of beauty. Satan will never appear to anybody in a hideous form. The Bible says that the messengers of Satan, they show themselves as angels of light, angels of righteousness. They show themselves as correct so that they can deceive more perfectly. It's the same with Satan. Satan is not hideous. He hasn't got a grotesque face. No, he shows himself as beautiful. Why? The Bible says that Satan was filled with wisdom, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. And that's what it says in Ezekiel. And you'll find out when Satan fell from his position, that beauty and that wisdom was not removed from him. The Bible does not say he lost his beauty and that he lost his wisdom. It doesn't say that. Remember, wisdom means knowing what to do. Satan knows what to do. He knows how to deceive you, how to deceive mankind. He knows what to do. Why? Because the Bible says that he was filled with wisdom, full of wisdom when he was created. God created him with wisdom inside of him. He didn't lose any of that. So when people say, Satan is ugly, Satan is grotesque, no, he's not. He portrays and shows himself as an angel of light, an angel of beauty, a wise angel, so that he can deceive better at deceiving, because he's shown himself as something that he is not, because his character, his inner character, is grotesque and horrible. So those there are the 5 myths about Satan. Satan is not was never the choir leader of heaven. People think he was a choir leader. No, he was not. Number 2, Satan and God are not the same. They're not on the same level. Satan is not the opposite to God. Okay, they're not even in the same league whatsoever. God is a creator and Satan is a created being. Satan is not in hell. That's number 3. Number 4, Satan is not a literal dragon or a serpent. These are typologies and picture language to give us an understanding and idea of what Satan is all about. Number 5, Satan is not hideous. He has a hideous character, but he does not look hideous. He doesn't look scary. No, the Bible says that Satan was full of beauty and full of wisdom. So those are the 5 myths. I hope that kind of helped you out. Leave a comment or any questions or comments down below, and I shall see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.